Alright, come on over, come on over. We've got Luke, Han, Chewie, Anakin, Peter, Bobby, oh sorry, I was getting 70s entertainment references. That's a good joke, come on, it's a tough crowd, geez, like my first grade class. Alright.
Who's Anakin?
Yeah, he's in that sometimes, he always shows up late.
Alright,
we've got Damon, Ryan, Tanner, Caleb, Nathan, Cody, Mark, Kenny, Andrew, Elliot, Addison, Tim, Max, Dylan, Christian, John, Taylor, Alex, Spencer, Kenny, Jen, Anthony, Francisco, Colin, Connor, Brennan, DiMaggio, Trevor, and Connor. Woo! Yes. Every single day with these guys, and I appreciate it because just like in class I always butcher names and I always forget people's names and faces, and I don't know, it's better to come up with a nickname like Luke or Han or something like that than just say hey you. So anyway, these guys are fantastic. Obviously it's great to come out every single day, and I get to do something I love to do, which is to run. I know it's sick and twisted, I'm seeing the psychologist about it, but I get to go out and run every single day with these guys, and running's getting a lot harder as I get a little bit older, and these guys keep me motivated to try to stay in shape, and it's fun to talk a little bit of trash every single day and then have to go out there and back it up because it's getting really hard to back it up. These guys push me to be my best as a runner, and as a coach they really uplift me in almost this spiritual way where even if I'm having a lousy day, something's going on in my personal life, or it's tough in the classroom because kids are just text messaging and not paying attention and writing I hate you Mattern all over the place. It's great to come out to work with these distance kids because they are so inspiring. As I mentioned earlier, the kids in our program are really complimentary of one another. They treat each other well, and I admire that. It makes me want to be a better person. So I thank you gentlemen for that. A few things in particular I just want to point out. We've got a guy with a cast on around here somewhere. Brennan Carita is a freshman, and to give you a little glimpse into the heart of some of these guys, at the Orange County Championships running the Frost-Off 3200, Brennan lost his shoe basically 300 meters into that race. It's a 3,200 meter race. That means he had to do 7 1/4 laps without a shoe. Well, that day it happened to be incredibly hot, and his shoe came off. Somebody basically stripped it off his foot, and he made the rookie freshman mistake of running a 2 mile without socks. And basically, I'm looking out there, and he's still running really well. I mean, he's a great athlete. He's competing with just a ton of heart. And so, as a coach, I said, all right, you're looking great, hang in there. Meanwhile, I turned to the other coaches, that kid's running without a shoe. That has to be so painful, it looks hot. But he's still competing, all just right in the pack, doing really, really well. And the last couple of laps roll around, and he's starting to look like he's in a lot of pain. And basically, I don't want to gross anybody out because we just had a nice meal, but basically, Brennan got second-degree burns on his foot. I mean, his foot was dripping blood as they took him off the track. Finished the race and still ran a good time, but ended his season that way. And while I would never want an athlete to go through that sort of pain, and please don't do that again, it speaks a lot to the determination of some of these athletes here on our campus. And again, I don't want athletes to go out and get hurt like that. None of our coaches do. But gosh, you got to admire that dedication to seeing something to its end. You know, I hear a lot of talk out there about, oh, kids these days, they don't work hard enough, they just don't care. I totally disagree with that. I think that's bogus. You come up here on this campus at 3 o'clock every day and you head down to the stadium, you go to these other sporting areas on campus, you're going to see a lot of kids who do care about things and who do work hard. And I love that. It makes me have a lot of faith in the future here. So guys like Brennan who have that amount of heart, I think just should be applauded, and as a community, we should admire ourselves. with some of our awards. Our PR award tonight is going to go to a guy who got injured in the middle of the season. He had a heck of a winter. He's training hard in December and January. Maybe did a little too much too soon and missed the first part of the training season, but rallied back despite having some rather disappointing first outings. And at the Orange County Championship, ripped off an awesome personal record of 4:36 that day. And from that race, we decided, okay, let's have him go varsity at league finals, even though he'd gone frost off all year. And it paid off because he ran 2 more personal records. He ran a 4:34 1600, and then he capped off the season with an 8th place finish in the varsity, even though he was just a sophomore, and ran a 9:46 2-mile, which is our 3rd fastest sophomore time in school history. So our PR award goes to John Janneck. Our frost soft distance MVP is also, along with our outstanding athlete Nick Silver, our co-frost soft MVP. And both Nick and this young man I'm going to talk about are guys that could easily be varsity. I mean, in fact, I believe Nick competed varsity throughout most of the season. Spencer certainly could have, but we stuck him down at frost soft just to get greedy on frost soft points. And you know, our frost soft MVP here, Spencer Rogers, is a double league champion, 1600, 800. Then he comes back and runs on our 4x400 meter team. This guy is an outstanding athlete. He ran great sophomore times of 4:30 in the mile and 2:05 in the 800. And if you go online, you go on YouTube, just do a little search for Spencer Rogers, and you can find a couple of videos of him just dominating the competition at our league championships. Just totally inspiring kid, and I'm really, really proud of him. Spencer Rogers, frost soft. This award, I felt like this guy really deserves something, so we're going to have a biggest heart award for our team here. And like I said, I'm a greedy guy. I want those records. I want our team to do well. You know, I want Brea to end up in the lights. And going into league finals, I asked a couple of guys to run JV and to basically do 4 events and to do the 4 longest events. That's a tall order. I certainly wouldn't want to do it. If my coach ever asked me to do something like that, I'd probably be secretly cursing his name and making little voodoo dolls and stabbing him or something. This guy adopted the challenge. We had 2 guys, Nathan Ritchie and Vosecky, adopt this challenge, and they both ran really well. Tim's going to get this award called the Biggest Heart because he won the 1600 at league finals, he got 2nd in the 800, he won the 2-mile, and then our team was down by about 20 meters in the 4x400 meter relay. This is the last event on the track at league finals. We're 20 meters back. Tim throws in this crazy surge, crazy surge. It's almost suicidal. And he catches the guy halfway into the last light leg. And I thought to myself, oh boy, now the last 100 meters is gonna look like this. Just he went out way too fast. And with about 50 meters to go, Tim and a runner from Canyon High School were neck and neck, just almost bouncing off each other. Well, I know it's a public school, and I would never want to preach any religious beliefs or anything, but I know Tim's a very religious person. With 50 meters to go, and one of our athletes can testify to this, out loud, Tim said, I don't know how he talks, but he's running, and he said, "Help me, Jesus." 50 meters to go. And I kid you not, this is what happened. They're neck and neck, and the Canyon kid is kind of stumbling. And he basically pushes Tim first across the line. Testify. Hallelujah. I mean, just amazing stuff out there, and I really applaud that effort. Tim gave every last ounce of energy he had, and he's done that every single day for 4 years, so our biggest heart to myself. All right, varsity PR awards for distance. We had 2 guys, they're both seniors, who've just done so much for this program over the years, and they both ran outstanding PRs, cracking the those famous top 10 lists here at Braylon High School. Like Coach Parents, you don't want to say too much because you feel like you're going to get a little choked up. I mean, when you work with these kids, like Coach Parents does, he works with those guys in football, he works with them in track and field. I work with these guys year-round. I mean, there's maybe 4 to 6 weeks during the entire year I haven't seen these guys for the last 4 years. And these guys, just, they put in so much effort, so much time. And more than that, other people I just want to be around. I mean, people like this you just can't replace. So I'm very fortunate to get to work with guys like that. Our 2 PR awards are going to be Mark Svet and Ryan Hightower. And just a few stats. Mark ran our 3rd fastest mile in school history with a 4:19. Just a few years ago, that would have been the school record. It's just that we got a lot of kids running fast, but a 4:19 is exceptional. Ryan ran, I think, our 6th or 7th fastest 3,200 of all time. He ran a 9:32. That's the 2nd or 3rd fastest kid I've ever coached in that event. And they just really lit it up at league finals. It's just so fun to work with these guys. Thank you for giving me 4 years of outstanding effort. Ryan Hightower and Mark Svet. And our distance MVP, also the MVP of the team. It's really not going to be a big surprise, so I'll just go and say it's Andrew Daedler. Andrew Daedler. Andrew, the MVP of the distance squad and the entire track and field team. He's also the league MVP of distance running. He's Distance Runner of the Year for the Century League, which is quite an accomplishment. Our league is incredibly tough. To give you an idea of how tough it is, a guy in our league who was 3rd place in the state in cross country, got 6th or 7th place, 7th place I think, in the mile at league finals. And that's how competitive it is at the top level. This guy went out and won that mile race in a school record time of 4:15, which is outstanding. But and he's also running the 3,200 at league finals. He got 2nd in that. He ran our 4x4. And he has one of our top 10 times in the 800, 1600, 3200. This guy just does it all. For a guy who started out as a hurdler, I'm totally impressed with what he's accomplished. It's kind of fun to go to a race where you know that no matter what, this guy's going to go out and dominate. When we ran against Villa Park in El Medina, he did 4 events that day, and he won every single one of them. And it looked like he was basically jogging most of them. I mean, he looked so relaxed. And what people don't know is that not only is Andrew talented, but he works incredibly hard, and he does a lot when people aren't looking in terms of what you have to do to be a great athlete. He's getting up in those mornings, running the double days on his own. He's hitting the gym, he's doing his core work, and he's just being incredibly self-disciplined. So I really admire that. I mean, he's basically the fastest distance runner in school history, and just a heck of a kid. So congratulations, he's still running his CIF. We're going to see if he can lower that school record of the mile a bit more and keep moving on. Congratulations, Andrew Daedler. Coach Harris here for a wrap up. Coach Hancock, a little wrap up of our awards.